So this is a modern version of the carrot cake. We still have 3 sponges. The walnuts from the sponge moved to the crunch base, so we're not missing on that texture. Instead of classic heavy cream cheese frosting that includes butter and lots of sugar, it's a light cream cheese mousse. Let's make a carrot cake. This kind of cakes very easy to make and very difficult to fail. All of ingredients just go into one bowl and you just mix it until it's incorporated. Let's just go through the ingredients and the order that I'm going to put this in the mixing bowl. I have 2 types of sugars, and the amount of brown sugar is the maximum one. If you put more, the sponge would be just too dense, so I wouldn't recommend doing that. The next is dry ingredients, and this is a plain flour, bicarb soda, salt, and cinnamon. You can sift all of this together, or you can put in one bowl and just briefly mix it. The next step is wet ingredients, and I'm going to pour the oil. I have just a neutral oil, eggs, room temperature, and vanilla extract. And the last step, I'm going to mix in the grated or blitzed in the food processor carrots. Just in case if you are curious why I'm going to add the brown sugar. So a part of the obvious thing as a flavor, it contains more molasses, so we have more caramel flavor in the sponge. It also has a little bit of acidity, which helps bicarb soda works better, so we will have more lighter texture in the sponge. I will just briefly mix these dry ingredients together so the flour and sugar are equally incorporated. Oil, eggs, and vanilla extract. Just mix it until all incorporated. In my case, it was just 30 seconds, and add all of your carrots. The consistency would be thick, just like this one. For the mousse cake, I'm going to use my cookie rings as a cake ring. Basically, I'm just pour the dough inside, and because the thickness of the dough is enough, I don't need to use any foil. In this case, we will have less offcuts. Fill it halfway and put it in the oven. "25 minutes with the 165 fan forced in my oven was sufficient enough. So I can see that the sponge is baked when I press the spring back. That's a telltale that they are done. Also, I can see on a side that it starts to contract. It also a sign that the sponge is fully baked. Now I'm going to cool it down before I assemble in a mousse. I have unmolded my carrot cake. Now I'm just going to trim the top so my layers inside would be even. I'm going to prepare cream cheese mousse. This version I prefer more than the standard carrot cake with a cream cheese frosting. The usual cream cheese frosting is very high in fat. It contains like full fat cream cheese, it contains butter, and it contains lots of sugar to hold all of that together. So that's why I prefer the cream cheese mousse. It's lighter. Half of the volume is diluted with a whipping cream, which is half of the fat of the cream cheese. The sugar level is on a bare minimum. You can still feel the sweetness, but it's not overpowering as in a standard frosting. Just a simple guidance through the recipe. I have here my cream cheese. Here I have freshly squeezed lemon juice and lemon zest from 1 lemon. I have sugar and my bloom gelatin. So the consequence is very easy. I'm just going to whip the cream cheese just to give more air. Then I'm going to heat it up my lemon juice and the sugar. Just bring it to the simmer, maybe even 65 degrees would be enough, because we need to dissolve gelatin, and all of this mixture will go into cream cheese. And while this will be mixing all together, I'm going to semi-whip thickened cream. Sugar all in. And I'm going to transfer cream cheese mixture to the mixing bowl so it would be easy to incorporate the whipped cream. After you mixed in your whipped cream, this mixture becomes unsettled quite fast, so make sure that you have your sponge prepared and your assembly mold. And I'm going to freeze this completely, better for overnight, but at least for hours. And then I will go with an extra crunchy layer. Let's make a simple and delicious crunchy layer for the carrot cake. Just a few ingredients, so nothing is distracting us from the carrot cake flavor. I have here my toasted walnuts and just mixed in a little bit amount of white chocolate and oil with the toasted nuts, just enough to cover that. And now I'm going to spread this on a frozen cake. Usually I leave some space in my top just to have this crunch layer, so it gives me understanding how much I can put it. And just press it firmly, maybe 10 minutes in the freezer, and we're ready to unmold this carrot cake. Now it's time to unmold the carrot cake. It's a standard procedure. We just need to heat it up a little bit of the sides and the top part. I have some spots that was not filled properly. So lesson for the next time, I need to press it more firmly or even maybe pipe cream cheese so it would be looks more neat. So the carrot cake was defrosted overnight in the fridge, and I have some toasted walnuts as a decoration because I would like to hide some imperfection of my cream cheese mousse.